name is Eduardo Sanchez. I'm from Venezuela, small town Barquisimeto. I'm an administrator. I'm graduated as administrator. I came here to China for this MBA because I was looking to get a change in the way I see the things, and I was looking China like a huge commercial selling throughout the world, so I wanted to learn how they did it, how they grow so fast, how they change in such a fast way. Being here almost 1 year, almost 2 months to finish, it's been a very good change in all the ways, learning how the Chinese culture works. It's made me grow as a person also. The MBA, very interesting classes that we see, because you see real cases of successful business in the world here in China. You also learn a little bit of the Chinese language. That is hard, but if you work hard, you can get it. Being in the MBA gets you to see how the world works from China to the outside. On the other hand, you're always in the other side, and you see that everything comes from China. They are the creators of, they made everything for the world. Now that we're here, we can see how they did that. You also, being in the Chinese culture makes you realize that you can change in a good way to be a better person and to grow as a person also, to be more mature for business, to work better with Chinese, to interact, to make relations.
My name is Chris Golden. I work with Save the Children here in China. I work as a supervisor for our youth empowerment programs. I'm here because I have family here who are also working in our field, the NGO field. And the reason why I decided to study the MBA is to try and expand my knowledge within areas of a more professional management nature. Up to now in our field, for example, it's very difficult to get training in management. It's difficult to get training in specifics of management and to have the ability to actually expand your mind as to how professional organizations work in different fields and sectors. This means that this is probably the best opportunity for me to have that kind of experience, but also it's an opportunity for me to expand on what I've known so far, so I can get some actual formal qualification in management, but also at the same time expand my knowledge into what other companies are doing, how things work that are relevant to my field. China as an emerging economy has probably a good example of a best practice of how like a country can develop from being a developing nation up to a more modern system. At the same time, it's such a rapid development, you get a kind of a concentrated version of all the problems of rapid development and moving into an emerging economy for a lot of different countries. This is like quite different than working in other emerging economies. You know, for example, Brazil or India, for example, have very different cultural contexts and background. But also the importance that China will play in the future, even though the economy is slowing down right now. It is still going to be an important component of the future economy, the global economy. And if it starts to, and it actually succeeds in becoming a more developed new economy, the knowledge-based economy, it will be have even more impact upon how the world, the global economy is shaped in the future as well. The ESEUNE MBA has the benefit of flexibility. I would not be able to study this unless I was able to do so flexibly, since I also work during the week, and I have quite a few travel responsibilities as well, traveling to different countries. Also, I'd say that the ESEUNE MBA does have the benefit of allowing you to have access to China, and I haven't benefited from it personally, but the other students have had the benefit of having the Chinese language and also the Chinese cultural immersion, which has allowed them to have a lot more contact. And I think the culture in many ways is probably more important than the language. The other thing that I guess has been quite useful with the ESEUNE MBA has been that it has allowed myself and many of my colleagues to be placed within Chinese companies, which is often just that kind of business immersion that you need to better understand how exactly companies work. Many of my colleagues may not work for a Chinese company, but they'll have that inside knowledge which they will then be able to use in the future.
My name is Andrea Chinchilla. I'm from Honduras. I lived in Costa Rica for the past 11 years. I studied hotel management. I'm 27 years old. I was working at a hotel as a sales manager, but decided that it was time for me to do my MBA. I really wanted to do something completely out of the box, not do it in Costa Rica. Many schools over there offer the MBA program. But I wanted to come to China and have a new experience, something that was completely different for me. I wanted to learn something about a culture that is, all over the world right now. It's becoming one of the most important cultures. Thought that Chinese was going to be the next language to control the world, but now I'm not so sure because it's a really, really difficult language. But still it's good to know the language. Currently I speak Spanish, English, French, and now I'm learning Chinese. So this is something that's really good for my career. Thinking after this of going back into the hotel management business, or maybe going to work for a company that gives the customer service. That it's something that I've always liked. ESEUNE, it's been a really good school for me because their MBA is more about practice than the theory. And that's something that I prefer. I don't like to study 5 days a week or 6 days a week when I know that after a year I might not remember half of the things, So I prefer to something that I can apply every day, and while learning also the Chinese languages and added value that not many people have today. So that's why I really like it. Okay, I would recommend people to come to China because you not only get to learn about their culture and their language as well, but you learn to work with them, something that right now Chinese companies are going internationally. So most of them are already in America, they are expanding to Europe, they are buying companies in Europe right now. So it's really difficult working with them at first, but once you get the hang of it and once you get to learn their culture, it's going to be easier for you if you want to be in a globalized world that we are right now. I mean, if you want to work with a company that's international and that has at some point to do something with the Chinese market, or your customers are from China, or the people that you buy from are from China, it's really good that you learn how to deal with them. Not only is it cheaper as well, because living in China is really cheap. I mean, we eat with less than $1 a meal sometimes, and that's not something that you can find in America or in Europe. Plus the crisis situation. I mean, China is one of the few countries right now that actually keeps growing economically. Not in our countries. Our countries are going into crisis, and the value for things is it's high value, something that used to be not as high cost as it is right now, and security reasons also. China is completely secure, something that you don't find, especially in my country now. You don't find that. So, China is different. You have to have the open mind to come here, and they are completely different from us. But at the same time, it's something that I think you will appreciate a lot, because you get to meet people from all over the world and people who are sometimes as open-minded as you are. So it's something really good.
Well, I'm Pedro from Argentina. I'm 26 years old and I'm studying in ESEUNE Business School here in China. Why I decided to come to China? When I was looking for an MBA, I was looking for challenge, and I think China is the most challenging place you can be, to discover new things, to experience complete different ideas and relations with people that you can find in anywhere in the world. It certainly is and was for me the most challenging trip I have ever took in my life, and I won't regret in all my life to have done it. I think that coming to China to do an MBA like this help you build a network that you will never have the chance to build it from your country or from Europe or from the United States, for example. If you come here to China, you really have the chance to meet people, important people and simple people that really help. They are willing to help you in every aspect of your life and in your business area also. So that brings you a lot of new opportunities to your business life and to your personal life.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm from Venezuela and I'm a material science and engineer. I came to study to China because I found it to be a very interesting experience, and I was always curious about this country. And as you all know, China is gaining importance around the world, and it's a very interesting experience just to get to know not only the culture but how to do business here, how to open a company here, and all those aspects that may be like important if you just feel curious about the country and its contribution and his impact to the world. So that's. I think China is a great place to come to study, not only because the importance that it needs to, like, it's a very different point of view and a different culture, a different way to work. So I mean, due to the influence that China is having in all the business of the world and the economy of the world, I think it's very important to be in this side of the world and experience it, to get to know how it works. And also the personal challenge, like struggling with the language and the culture and the food and everything, it's very useful for your personal development. So it's very good, it's a very good experience.
生死离家，人在路上，彩云之南，归去的地方，往事芬芳。
Well, my name is Esteban Rojano. I'm from Mexico. I study computer science in Tecnológico de Monterrey. And well, I decided to study an MBA long time ago, but I didn't find one that I really liked because all of them were really focused only in the classes and in the courses. But this MBA here in China, it's the main thing because you get to know a different culture and you get to study a different market, and also because it's a really practical MBA. You get to work in a company and you get to do a lot of things, not just be inside the classroom. MBA, I think, relates directly with market, and one of the biggest markets that is happening right now in the world is China. It's 1.3 billion people, and it is a great opportunity to be here, to learn the language, and to learn how to do business with them. So if you're going to study an MBA, don't stick with the regular MBA in the classroom. I think the China MBA, it's the best one. You get to learn a lot of things, but I think the most important one is to be outside the box, to be creative. Every time you go out, you get 1, 2, or 3 surprises a day, And the fact to actually be able to overcome these surprises, it's really important because now you're ready to do anything in the world.
请你又在何方？原谅我无法陪你走那么长，面对当不是我们的远方，不虚此行别遗憾。
Hello everybody, I'm Victor, and I'm come from China. I'm come from Anhui province. My major is China literature, and I'm very lucky that to study in the ESEUNE school, and I study a lot. The first, I think China developed fast, and Tianjin is also developing, and I think there are many different opportunities for us to communicate. I think it's a window for you, for me, to know each other. And second, and it's an opportunity that we can invest programs such as we can be learning to each other's resources. That's a sharing. That's a sharing company, and that's sharing economic. Yes, welcome to China, welcome to Tianjin, and we are friends and waiting for you. Thank you.